Just one question for you, and you mentioned the MAGA base within the Republican Party. Is it time to kind of distance, should politicians stop using that terminology? Is it causing people to think that maybe they're out of touch with reality when a lot of the things that the voters in Virginia wanted, whether they were Democrat or Republican, centered around family, centered around parental choice? I mean, is it right that we call it, a MAGA or a conservative stance?
Well, break that down a little bit. It's certainly right to call rural Virginia Donald Trump country and MAGA country, if for no other reason than the people we talked to at a number of Youngkin rallies were wearing Make America Great Again hats. So there's no question that the MAGA coalition and the Donald Trump base still exists and still is an extraordinarily powerful part of the Republican base. What was so remarkable about Glenn Youngkin's victory is that he was able to bring them over and energize that base without talking about Donald Trump. He talked about some of the same issues as Trump. He was not afraid to talk about the cultural issues. He was not afraid to talk about critical race theory. He was not afraid to talk about transgender bathrooms. But at the same time, he focused a lot more on personality and on policy than on personality. And you probably got a sense from the speech, Adrienne, from Glenn Youngkin, and we found this as we traveled around the state listening to his stump speeches. It was a much more aspirational, much more Ronald Reagan-esque message than it was a Donald Trump angry message. And in that, probably that tone, rather than a difference in policy, is what we're looking at. And certainly that would play out with suburban voters who really enjoyed the policies, perhaps, of Donald Trump and really enjoyed the way Glenn Youngkin packaged them.
I think the tone is certainly something that a lot of politicians and pundits should be paying attention to, because it seems as though tone is shifting in this country. Leland, thank you so much. And we know that Leland Vittert is going to be staying in Washington for us. He will have live reports throughout the evening and on his show On Balance at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.